Go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Natalia Costa. Welcome to Skin at Heart, where we talk about essential oils and their benefits. Today, I am proud to bring you a person with whom I have learned a lot. Her name is Zuzana Sladeckova. I have attended the webinar last year with Zuzana about hormone balance. Zuzana is a naturopathic nutritionist. She's an expert in hormones and nutrition, essential oils as well. And she has a lot of knowledge that I think she should share with us. This is especially important for women, but since all of us have women in our lives, I would say this is important for everybody. So first of all, I would like to thank Zuzana for accepting to do this interview for Skin at Heart. Thank you. I will then start with the interview. So, yeah.
And thank you so much, Natalia. I mean, for such an amazing idea and for organizing this and for your kind words about my work. And I think this is so important for women to hear. So I hope as many as women can watch this as we can reach and hopefully get something out of it.
Yeah, I hope so too, and I hope it helps all the women out there as it has helped me. Yeah. So my first question is, how did you come across the essential oils? Tell us a little bit about your path and how did you end up working in this area?
So it was at a business meeting that I went to, a networking meeting that I went to, and there were two ladies that were kind of in the same field that I am, natural medicine, and they were using and teaching about essential oils. So I took their cards and I just went along to one of their classes. And I remember exactly the first oil I ever got or tried was wild orange from them. And I'll never forget it. It is just the most beautiful and pure smell of orange you could ever smell. We call it now the sunshine in a bottle.
I like that.
Yeah, it really is. But the main difference was I used essential oils before. I quite liked them actually, but only for like massage, or I would make my own cosmetics and go for a massage when my friends would use oils on me. But I never knew they were supposed to have real medicinal properties. But I didn't even know it when I went to that class. So, but for some reason, I could tell the smell was different, but I didn't realize the whole purity and potency when I went to the first class. But I just something was calling me to try more, and just kept going to classes. And eventually I got a big kit for myself and started incorporating into my daily life. But at that time also I was very, very sick with my digestion. I was very stressed, had a stressful job. And just my health wasn't great, even though I had a good diet. I tried to do my best, but I had a chronic digestive problems. And so I asked one of the girls to do like a more personalized protocol for me that I could follow. And when she actually did that, I could feel so much better so fast. I was so pleasantly surprised. And the longer I took them, the better I felt. And it was just incredible. And on all levels, like physical and emotional as well, and mental. And I was just completely blown away. And now it's completely changed the way I look after my health on a daily basis. And I am about 50% healthier than I was before I started using them. But it's not the only thing I do, but it goes really well with everything else that you might be already doing. So I just find them amazing for health.
Wow, that's very inspiring, and it is true that these oils, the only one drop, it's so powerful that I think people get pleasantly surprised with how well they work. Yeah. So the second question that I have for you is, what has encouraged you to look closely to women's health, hormones, and essential oils? I mean, what was the motivator to look closely into hormones and women's health in particular?
Yeah, it was an interesting turn actually in my life. So I used to specialize in digestive health and mental health because there is a direct link between your digestion and your mental health. So that was my big passion for a long time. But then I went to, I think it's a year and a half ago, I went, like every year I go to the doTERRA Global Conference on Essential Oils in the States. And there was a talk about essential oils and women's health and pregnancy, healthy pregnancy and healthy childbirth, natural childbirth, by a midwife who has been using the oils in midwifery. And she was so amazing. She actually inspired me so much. I wanted to actually become a midwife after that talk. So that was pretty amazing. That was the first time I was like, wow, I actually would love to do this, help women. And then the other thing was, before I was self-employed, I was working in a health shop, and I would meet a lot of women who were really struggling with different women's health problems. And I kind of felt like women didn't think there was help for that, or it's something they had to put up with. Or there also, I believe there is not enough information, the right kind of information for women to follow if they want to help themselves or get the proper, the educated decision to make about their health. So that education. And then third part was actually my astrologer. I went to him to get some guidance, not necessarily about what I should be doing, but it came up in the conversation. And so I told him I was doing about 5 different things at the same time. And I was like, well, I don't think I can do this. So would you help me? And he actually said, well, from your chart, I think your purpose is to work with women. So that was the last drop. And because of him, I think it took me much faster to switch from mental health to women's health than it would have taken me if he never said that, because I think it would have taken me longer to realize that. But because of what he said, I was like, wow, it was at the back of my mind, but it was.
Yeah, sometimes we need that.
Yeah, we don't listen sometimes. Yeah, the guidance and our intuition. So he was super important for me at that time, because he told me, look, I think your purpose is to be working with women.
Yeah.
And I never looked back, it's been amazing.
Sometimes we need that extra push or someone to actually say it out loud, so that we really understand things that are inside us, but that we really were not able to kind of bring it into words or realize it ourselves, I guess.
Yes, and that's true for every area of your life, I think, and especially health. I think sometimes you can't do it on your own. You need guidance. But that was, the guidance in that area of my life is important as well. So yeah, you're right. Sometimes we need guidance.
Yeah. So my third question is, based on your experience, since you've been working with women for quite some time now, what are the main issues that women with whom you talk to every day face? What are the main issues that women face regards their health?
So it is a real variety of things. Anything from PMS to more serious things like cysts and fibroids, endometriosis, even cancer. But there is a general actually thread going through all of these, which I also talk about on my webinar, and it's stress. It's a big thing for women, I think. Stress, being constantly in that on-the-go rush stress mode, and I think a lot of blood sugar problems, imbalanced blood sugar. And I think it's a mix. But there's been an epidemic of I think hormone-related conditions like fibroid, cysts, endometriosis. That a lot of them are linked to environmental toxins, stress, and our emotions as well.
Yeah, I would say that stress in the societies nowadays, in where we're living now in the Western world, maybe the main cause for hormone imbalance and sugar, all those issues that you were bringing out, maybe the source, the source problem may be stress, because we keep running around from one place to the other, and our bodies just can't handle it, I guess.
Actually, yeah, that's so true. You know, stress is a big one, but people, I think women don't realize how many types of stress there are, and you don't always feel it on a physical level, right? So in my book now, I talk about the 5 different types of stress that we are all exposed to actually on a daily basis, because they're so hidden sometimes. So we don't even realize we're stressed until we get sick, right? And you don't want to get to that stage when you're so sick. You have to look back and all the things you're doing. But it's important to know about them, so to kind of address them before they get into more serious things.
Yeah. So based on that, how can essential oils support women's health?
Wow. So where do I start? But the real, I picked three things that they're really brilliant for. I don't know many other things that can do that. So the first one is how their amazing ability to clean our bodies. So I just mentioned that there is we are surrounded by a cocktail of chemicals in the environment, in the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the things we put on our skin. So it's really, really important. So not only to eliminate those toxins as much as you can, but kind of clean your body on a daily basis. But it doesn't have to be a detox, right? So to take something like an essential oil on a daily basis that will kind of keep your body clean. So how they work, and because of their tiny molecular structure, so the minute you put them on your skin, in 30 seconds they get into your bloodstream, and in 30 minutes they're in every cell in your body. And what they start doing, so they start, because they're so small and fat soluble, so they can get through the fat membrane of the cell, and fat is good for us. They can get into the cells and clean out all the toxins that are in our cells that are essentially damaging our DNA. Also contribute to weight gain, because the main weight gain is usually caused by toxins stored in fat cells. So our fat cells get bigger and bigger with the more toxins we have, and it's very, very difficult to get them out of the cells. But what essential oils can do, I don't know actually many other things that can do that. So get in the cell, clean out the toxins, and help nutrition to get in for the cell to be working optimally. So I love that they do that. So they constantly, if you take them every day, they will constantly clean your body, so you never end up with too many toxins in your body that can lead to more serious things like cancer.
So it's like essential oils are little doctors that we can intake or that we can use in our skin to
little cleaners.
To help us be healthy. Yeah.
Internally or externally, as you just said, on the skin as well. You can use them on the skin, because 60% of everything you put on your skin, I mean, that's more skincare. Essential 100% of the oils that you put on your skin goes in, but they go in through the skin as well, and clean up the body, clean the lymphatic system. So that's needed for the toxins to be taken out of the body as well. And a lot of women have sluggish lymphatic system. Maybe one of the reasons can be bad diet, or one of the not enough exercise. So the oils also help to clean up the lymphatic system, to take the toxins out of the body.
So the essential oils seem to have a wide variety, a wide scope of actions that are beneficial for human beings and women in particular.
The other thing actually I wanted to mention is how beneficial they are for stress. So as we said, stress is one of the main causes of hormonal imbalance and women's health problems. So essential oils, again, are one of the fastest and most effective way I know to relieve stress. Any kind of stress, actually. But even just let's talk about physical stress, right? So when the stress hormone is really high, so if you put a drop of lavender oil on your hands, inhale it for 1 minute, that has been shown to reduce the stress hormone cortisol by 30% in 1 minute.
Wow, 30%. It's it's a lot.
Yes. And that's one of the high cortisol is one of the main causes of hormonal imbalance. So even if you did that, you would help yourself so much.
Yeah.
So that's why I love about them too. And they're very, very, very fast acting, very effective on a very deep cellular level. And the third one I was going to mention is that they actually themselves balance the hormone system, the endocrine system, but especially the sex hormones in women. But sometimes you don't even have to know what's in balance, because the thing I love about them, when you take them, they're so intelligent. Not only they know exactly where to go, but they are balancing on the body. So whether it's high or low, you don't even have to know. If you want, you can get tested, right? But they will, if it's high, it will bring it back. If it's low, it will bring it up. That's I absolutely love about the oils, because you don't have to worry about the details.
Yeah.
So they will go exactly where they need to go.
Yes, we are like smart little doctors that know exactly what they have to do, and we don't even have to think about what we actually need, because they will kind of help us to get the balance that we need.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my next question is based on your knowledge on essential oils and also your experience with women. What are the main changes that you recommend to women in their routines, on their everyday routines? What are like the top things that you would say that are important for women to change, or at least or to do or start doing, depending on from person to person?
So probably the biggest one that I see, and that I used to be really bad as well, is that constant being on the go and stress. So my first advice would be to slow down, to really slow down. And even in between doing things, if you take little breaks, even for 5 minutes, slow down and get in touch with your body and ask your body how it feels, what it needs in different particular moments, and kind of listening to your body. And then that's really important, because I feel we have become very disconnected from our bodies for various reasons.
True.
Coming back to our body, listening to them, and slowing down is so important, and becoming mindful of how we do things. Going out for short breaks to the nature is one of the most effective ways of reducing stress. So I would like to show a little slide from my webinar on the screen. I'm going to share my screen now.
Yes, we are happy to.
Yes, here. Can you see it, Natalia?
Yes, I can see it. Yeah, practical tips to distress.
I can make it bigger. So I don't have to go through all of them, but also, so something I teach to identify your stress triggers. So as I said, there's 5 different types of stress: physical, emotional, psychospiritual, and toxins, different types of toxins. So maybe identify what's your biggest trigger and work on that for 1 month. I think 1 month is quite a good period of time when you can kind of deal with it, and it becomes a good habit.
Yeah. Experts say that it takes 1 month to create a habit.
1 to 2 months, I think, but 1 month is a good, amount of time. And only make 1 or 2 changes at a time, so you don't get overwhelmed, and really, really stick with it until it becomes a habit. The other big thing for me was getting organized. So planning my days and my weeks, and have a morning routine, so things don't just stay in my head and then I get really stressed, right? So the more I write, the better I feel, because it's not in my head. I don't have to remember everything. So I write everything down, and planning my days, including, my meals and my self-care is really important. So I put that first in my diary, and only then I could work. And
that's a real good tip. That's a real good tip for women nowadays. Yeah.
Self-care, I'm going to talk about a little bit later about self-care, but I think that's super important. But the other things on this list are taking breaks, so not working for too long periods in a row, in one go. So taking breaks, even if it's going to the bathroom and again inhaling lavender, maybe if you feel stressed, or going out to a garden. If you work from home and you have a garden, go to the garden, at least once a day. to de-stress and get grounded and get out of your head, and take a little bit of time to exercise, even if it's, again, 5 minutes is better than nothing. 5 minutes of a nice yoga or qigong, something really gentle for women. Going for a walk even is enough sometimes, you know, or going for a swim, going dancing, and something that you enjoy. Doing something small every day for yourself that you would enjoy actually is another tip I would give you. Eating a balanced diet, that's a whole big topic on its own.
Yeah.
And as I just said, scheduling the time for things you enjoy, that you have something to look forward to in the day. And in the evening, maybe I do a little like a meditation, journaling on the things I'm grateful for, you know, how my day went, what I received, what went well, and plan for the next day. So again, it's not all in your head and you don't get stressed about it.
Yeah, these tips are really helpful, and well, some of them after your webinar I've introduced them into my life, and I feel like my life has improved considerably since I created these new routines dedicated to myself and my well-being. Because just like we brush our teeth, so we should also kind of brush our mind and meditate a bit and take the time to be with ourselves. That's like a routine, a health routine that we should have with our mind as well as we have with our body, I guess.
Exactly. Super important. And well done for doing that, actually. And I'm so happy for you. It's working for you. And self-care, you know, like building in these little, so I believe in the little things that we do every day that produce the long-term results. So there's a beautiful book about that in general, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. But just in health, I think it's the little things, you know, you don't have to completely change your whole life in 1 week, but just build in the little things that will make you feel better. So doing a little massage for your body after you showered, again, it takes a few minutes, right? 2 minutes. With oils or anything, your favorite lotion.
Yeah.
Listening to music even in the shower, actually listen to music in the shower, right? To get me in a good mood. Then I put on the oils, smell the oils, exercise a little bit, have a good breakfast. That gets you started on a good start in a day. Then building in the breaks in your day when you can actually go out and breathe a little bit. So it's the little things that you can incorporate that will make a huge difference in the end.
Yeah, because all of those things brought together, they kind of will have a big impact in the end in your life. Yeah. So my last question to you is if you have any last words that you would like to share with us, anything else you would like to say as regards to the theme, I would really appreciate it if you would share any last thoughts with us.
Yes, actually, something really important I wanted to say is I recommend women to read up about how their bodies work and how the menstrual cycle actually works and what happens in the different weeks of the menstrual cycle and how we feel and even the food we should be eating or the activities we should be doing in different weeks. But in general, how the body works, so you can actually understand it. And then you will much easier be able to help yourself. How to bring your health back to balance. If you know how it's working, you'll most likely know how to bring it back to balance. So I have, I'm going to share another slide that a few books that I recommend for women to read. And also, if you have the knowledge, then you can make educated choices. You know? So because I believe women,
that's true,
don't know, and because of that, there sometimes are forced into making certain choices that they wouldn't make if they knew a bit more about their health, and to avoid. Sorry, my screen is not working now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll try it again, but to avoid any unnecessary procedures as well. You know. There's so much you can do to help yourself or to work with a practitioner, natural health care practitioner, to bring yourself back to balance, so you can prevent a lot of things from happening to you, and prevent a lot of medical procedures that are very traumatizing sometimes for women.
Yeah, because if we know our bodies, then we will know better than anyone how to read ourselves, how to be well, what can we and can't we eat, what are the best activities for our own body, for our own selves. Yeah, we just kind of have to learn again to listen to our own bodies, which is a capacity that I think we lost in these modern societies where we're running around and we're using drug-induced medicines for everything, and we kind of forgotten how to listen to ourselves and how to know the symptoms and how to read whatever we are experiencing throughout our daily lives. That's from my experience, that was what I felt, and that's why I think that your webinar was so powerful for me, and it inspired me so much, and that's why I wanted to share it with everybody, because I definitely think that everybody should do it. It's 1 hour, but in that hour people learn a lot, and maybe they can look deeper into their selves, into their own issues. And it's the first step into dealing with those issues. Yeah, exactly. It's acknowledging the issue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would encourage all women to educate and empower themselves, because there's so much you can do for your own health. And you know your body best, as you said, you know your body best. And when you really connect with it, it will tell you a lot.
True. And another thing that I also feel is that, of course, that now if I ever have a daughter, I will wish for all of our daughters to do not make the same mistakes that we have made, and that we can guide the young people in a better way into a better future, hopefully, than the reality that we were living and that we are still living. Yeah,
exactly. And that's why I think me and you are doing this work, you know, to pass it on to the next generation. You know, when we have our daughters, we can teach them from the very beginning, you know, how to look after your health and be respectful to the body as well.
Yeah. So Zuzana, thank you so much for the interview. It was a pleasure, and it was really nice to hear from you firsthand about these issues. I will leave the link to your webinar, to your page here on under the YouTube video, so that people can access it. I will also leave the link to my post that's in Skin at Heart, where people can read a bit about this interview, and where they can also check the link to your website, so that they can attend future webinars and get more informed about these issues into their own lives and into their own case, into their own specific case. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me and organizing this. And you're doing some amazing work with women as well, I know for sure. So yeah, we'll post the link to this interview, and also I'll give you all the names of the books that I would recommend for women to read, and you can post that as well.
Yes.
I hope a lot of women can watch this, and hopefully.
Yeah, I hope we can reach as many women as we can, because this is powerful info for everybody. And just like we say with the oils, one drop, and until each drop will change the world. Well, each of these talks, each of these moments of sharing, and we hope that we will reach as many as we can for a better world in the future. Yeah.
One moment at a time.
Yes. Thank you so much, Zuzana. And thank you, Skin at Heart is grateful. And up until my next video, be happy.
Thank you.